Hello everyone, and this is Gerald from Geek Culture. We'll be going through the LG C1 today to get an understanding of how it fares as a day-to-day monitor for productivity, gaming, and entertainment. While many folks use a TV daily, what if you could use it for more than just watching movies and TV shows? After much research, the 48-inch LG C1 is presently one of the best TVs to get, with an amazing OLED display, plenty of HDMI 2.1 ports, being able to use it for more than most of the day ekes out plenty of value for this TV. However, given the size, it might be quite overkill for folks to use as a monitor. Plenty of consideration and tools have to be deployed to make the most of the LG C1 to ensure it goes the distance. Before we begin, thanks for sticking around and be sure to like and hit the bell icon. Your support goes a long way. First of all, let's go through the basics of the monitor. The LG C1 is the company's latest range of 2021 TVs. It features LG's A9 Gen 4 AI processor 4K, which leverages on a deep learning tech to help analyze and optimize content. Paired with 100 million self-lit pixels, users will be able to achieve perfect blacks and color at all times. Have a look for yourself. The TV comes in a variety of sizes, and at 48 inches, it is the smallest and lightest of the range. I output the C1 at the maximum resolution of 3840 by 2160 and achieving 120 frames per second without a hitch. The real estate is aplenty, and it might be challenging for a regular user to make the most of it. It runs on LG's WebOS, and I find it pretty comparable to the Android TV UI, and with its supplied controller, making it quick and snappy to navigate around menus, be it via the button controls, or you can wave it around like a laser pointer. All your favorite streaming apps are here, from Netflix, Disney+, and YouTube. Using the LG C1 as my daily driver, I had to do some prep work beforehand. Weighing in at 15 kg, I've chosen it to be mounted on an Ergotron HX desk mount to give me some flexibility in adjusting the display easily and smoothly. You'll also need a VESA mount to go along with this. Links are in the description below. As you can see, the display is huge when used this close, so much so that the camera I use for calls is mounted right on the top, which might lead to odd camera angles. With the desk mount, I've been able to free up some space on the table to prevent it from looking too cluttered. This is a 60-inch desk, so it should give you an idea how a 48-inch LG C1 might fit in your setup. Often, I'm sitting about 74 centimeters away from the screen, which I feel is a comfortable distance. The previous monitor was a 34-inch ultra-wide curved display, so transitioning to the bigger LG C1 took a bit of getting used to. In the day-to-day, I rely on an application called PowerToys Fancy Zones to help me arrange my windows. I split up the entire display into 12 zones and work off the middle zones the most. This gives me a working resolution of about 2194 by 1264. Combine that with two more windows by the side which I use for my chats and email is more than sufficient. With such large screens, the idea is to limit how much you need to move your head, reducing neck strain. When it comes to working off applications like Premiere Pro and Photoshop, there's plenty of space for one to move the timeline and canvas while referring to notes at the same time. This improves productivity overall. But let's be honest here, the real reason why you should be considering the LG C1 in the first place is how it supports both NVIDIA G-Sync and has ample HDMI 2.1 ports. If you're someone who owns a PS5, Xbox Series X, and a RTX 3080 PC at the same time, this should be the TV that will be on the top of your list. The only drawback here is you'll be getting a maximum 120 frames per second only. For me, I've used this TV daily and made full use of it with G-Sync and an RTX 3080. Considering that 4K gaming at higher frame rates is rather new to our console brothers, there are very little TV alternatives right now in the market which can support such a wide breadth of cases like the LG C1. Transitioning from PC use is seamless, and LG has their own game optimizer mode which new users will need to toggle to get the most out of the TV. By default, these settings will not be set accordingly out of the box. This is especially important for input lag, and you'd want to definitely turn this on for games such as FPS titles, fighting games, so that the TV matches your reaction. If you're looking for a TV that does really well for gaming, look no further than the LG C1. What we have here is the variable refresh rate, otherwise known as VRR, that really makes all the games look as well as they should be, especially on modern consoles. This means the LG C1 will always try its best to output at the maximum console refresh rate at all times. The LG C1 also has a 1 ms response time, which matches what we have with other gaming monitors out there. Outside of gaming, the LG C1 is naturally a great fit for all your entertainment needs from Netflix to Disney+. It supports Dolby Vision and Atmos, and there will be a nice pop-up that appears once you are viewing content that supports these features. When watching shows, I will actually slide back further and kick up my feet to enjoy the content. The colors and blacks with the LG C1 are exactly the level of quality we have come to expect from the company. The great thing about this is the TV knows exactly what you're consuming at a specific point of time and changes your display settings accordingly. If you're hopping between Netflix, console gaming, and PC use, it will adjust so you get the best picture each time. The drawback I feel with such devices would be its audio quality. And similar TVs in this range are so thin, the quality of audio can be quite limited. There's a distinct lack of bass and sound that can fill the room, but is largely passable. Spoken audio comes off as crisp, so there's little chance you might miss a word. Yes, even for Tenet.
That's not possible. 10 minutes, times. Time isn't the problem, it's getting out alive is the problem.
However, as I'm sitting pretty close to the TV, I don't really feel a need to add on an additional speakers at this point of time. When it comes to pixel density, because users will be sitting so close to the screen, it becomes quite obvious text is less sharp compared to traditional monitors. This is something folks need to take note of if this is an aspect that might irk them. Personally, I work with text most of the time, so it's something that really stood out for me. LG has come a long way when it comes to playing well with others. I even have it connected to my Google Home so I can turn it on without having to reach for the remote. This is the perfect 4K OLED display, which should be at the top of your list. When it comes to being future-proof, the LG C1 has a good mix of pretty much everything. Considering that you will be getting plenty of value, this makes the LG C1 a serious contender as opposed to just getting a monitor. Either way, this is a buy which I won't see many folks regretting. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, do give us a like and support this channel by hitting that subscribe button. Are you considering getting the LG C1? Let us know in the comments. Until then, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.